Hello, my name is Brent Farley with Jesus Saves Signs. We're going to make a pole today so we can install signs really high in telephone poles. In this video, we're going to, this is the top part of the pole. The bottom section screwed together to give it more length, but the top part has to be custom made. You can do it at your house. It's quite easy. We're just going to go step by step through this. You can order these poles from Home Depot. They're called a Marshalltown 72-inch aluminum handle section. It's threaded on both ends. One's male, one's female. We're going to cut the female section off. This is from a previous piece that I've already cut. It's the end. It's about 3 inches. There's a thicker interior piece. We got to cut the whole piece off, so we're left with just the tube. So that ends at 3 inches. So I'm gonna take this pipe here, make a mark at 3 inches. We're gonna try to do a nice straight cut with a Sawzall. I recommend a metal tip blade that's kind of thick. The thickness helps do a straight cut. If it's a thin blade, they wave a lot. Just so you can see, there's a little sliver of the interior piece that was left in there, but we're just left with a pipe now. Okay, so we just finished our cut on the pipe. I got a metal file here. We're gonna shave the ends, just take all, kind of deburr it so it's safe to deal with. This one has a curve on it and it works well with the round pipe. Same thing on the outside. Used a flat side for the outside. Okay, now we're going to mark our pipe. We got to put a piece of wood dowel inside of it, because we're going to have 2 bolts that clamp our sign holder on this pole. We don't want the pole to be crimped. So this actually fits inside the pole pretty snug. The inside diameter is 1.5 inches. I believe this is about 1 3/8. 1.5 inch would work perfect if you can find that at your hardware store. Just wood dowel. I think you can buy longer sections of it for like closets. Pretty inexpensive. You can make several poles if you need to. So this piece happens to be 8 inches long. We're gonna put this inside here. It's 8 inches. This is our hammer stapler. This is an Arrow TH50. We chose this one because
HT50.
HT50 hammer tacker. This handle fits inside this pipe really well, and you can use 1/2 inch staples with this, and that's what we use for the signs. All right, for the next step, we already have our 8 inch piece of wood dowel inside the pole. We're going to slide this hammer stapler into the pole also It's going to go in the pole about 8 inches. We're going to give it a little bit of space. We're going to allot 9 inches for this, because the next step we're going to form the end to hold the stapler, and it's going to go in a little deeper. So we're putting this in. So 9 inches is the end of the stapler. Plus another. We're gonna make a mark at the 9 inch mark. So we're gonna go 8 inches more, which would be 17. And we're gonna put our other mark. This is where the wood dowel is in here. keep those marks there so you remember where the wood is. So when you drill in through the wood. All right, for the next step, we're gonna form the end of this pipe so that the stapler fits in it and it's snug. See, right now the stapler can just go anywhere in it. We want it to where when you put the stapler in, it only has one location and you can't wiggle it. We don't want, we're gonna smash the sides down a little bit so it goes in there and it really locks in one position. So to do this, we're gonna just, I think we have I think it's a 3-pound sledgehammer. We're just gonna wrap a rag around it so that the pole doesn't get really beat up. You may expect some of this paint to flake off, but that's not gonna harm anything. It's just powder coated. So I'm gonna leave the stapler in it just so we don't smash it too much. That way we can work it in and out and just you know, not real hard wax, just enough that you're kind of form fitting it. I used to cut out the section and the aluminum pipe started to stress and crack over time. So keeping it solid and just denting the sides, it really helps a lot with strength. Already see it's really creased in a lot there on one side, so we're gonna flip it over and do the same to the other side. So we can still get it in and out. It's nice and flat right there. I'm gonna add a little more to this side. Okay, so with a few whacks, you can see that it's fitting the stapler pretty well there. A few imperfections in the paint, but no big deal. I can still pull it out, put it in. There's only one location. There's no wiggle room. That's really important. You don't want this to wiggle side to side, otherwise your staples are going to go in crooked. You're going to have a hard time. So this is actually this is what you're looking for. If you look down the end of it, that's about the amount of room that you want in it. You want to be able to slide it in and out just like that. That's what you're looking for. If you happen to crease it too much, you can kind of pull it out and just wiggle it side to side a little bit, and that aluminum will give just enough to where you can get it in and out. All right, for this next step, we're gonna cut the metal 2 pieces. That pinches the sign to hold it while we're stapling it. The outside piece of metal is gonna be a 1/2 inch longer than the inside. Outside's 14 inches. Mark your metal. This is the size of the metal. Buy one of these for 1 pole. And the other piece is gonna be 13.5 inches long. And all you need is a Sawzall for this whole construction. I want to cut this piece of metal. Again, just have a metal bit that's kind of thick like that. It cuts nice and straight. Verify that one's about a 1/2 inch taller than the other, and we're good to go. Okay, for this step, we've cut our pieces of metal at 13.5 and 14 inches. The 14-inch piece, we're going to drill 2 holes in it. One at 8 inches. Mark your metal in the middle at 8 inches. Make a little cross, and 13 inches. Then we're going to drill those 2 holes. So we just drilled our 2 holes in our piece of metal here, the top piece. The second piece, we're gonna line it up with the 1/2 inch. The lower one's a 1/2 inch shorter. See that? Line up this end flush. Drilled the hole here, just so it helps us drill the second one. Put a bolt through the first one just to line it up so it doesn't vibrate off center. So it's nice and centered. Now all we have to do is apply a little pressure and drill through the second one here, and just make sure the sides stay nice and flush, and then drill through. All right. All right, next step, we got our 2 metal pieces, 2 holes drilled in each one. We're gonna file the edges down so they're not sharp, because we don't want our sign scratched and we don't want our hand cut when we're handling it. Just make sure you have a nice flat file around on one side. See that little sharp piece there? Just file all those down. If you have a electric side grinder, that would work better, but most people have a hand file around their house. Just get rid of all sharp edges. This let's see, the longer piece that faces against the pole, it's real important to bevel that edge pretty good, because your sign's gonna slide into there and you don't want that to snag in any way. Yeah, it's the end that doesn't have the drill bits in it. Drill holes. All right, for the next step, we've got our pieces of metal. They're filed down, they're drilled. They're both on top of each other on the blue handle. We're gonna drill the 2 holes in them. So from the edge here to the edge of the blue is 16 inches. You want that to measure 16 inches. You know you got that in the right place, and they're gonna go into the dowel. So you wanna make sure your stapler hammer is inside the pole and it's snug. It's going straight up and down, and we want these going straight across at a 90-degree angle. Flat, we want these flat, and we want that up and down. And then we're gonna drill it. Just run your eye up and down to make sure it's parallel. Quarter-inch drill bit, we're just gonna drill straight down. That's one. It appears the dowel moved a little bit, so I'm just gonna re-drill through the wood part. One washer on the top and one on the bottom. No need for lock washers because the nut is a stop nut. Remember, the long piece goes on top. gonna snug that up a little bit. Just so it's firm. It's not real tight, but just it's in place. Again, just double checking the angles. That's flat, that's up and down. Holes are lined up. We're gonna do our hole through the blue pole. Just keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't move very much. Want it nice and straight. Just double checking. It's nice to have a wood block underneath when you drill so you don't damage your table. It fits, it looks good. Looks even to the eye. It's gonna function well. It's got a little spring to it to hold your sign in there. We're gonna put a dab of the liquid nails in between here, just so this doesn't so it doesn't spring away from it over time. We have to take it back apart for that. Just on that part, you don't want it on that. So this is a 7/16 wrench. Just put it on your nut and screw it in. Not real tight, just when you start to see the pipe flex in a little bit, that'll be tight enough. If you tighten this one too much, it'll make that pull away. So just snug them both up, let your stuff dry, and then, I don't know, maybe give it a half a turn more when you're done. Okay, this is the final step. These pipes are made kind of roughly. They're not really well finished. You don't have to do this, but I suggest you do. It's easier when you're screwing pipes together, you know, if you're on the side of the road, so that they screw together well. The molding marks, I just take a file and you just clean out the threads. So when you screw it together, it screws together nice. It makes it work a lot better, a lot less resistance. Then you just put a dab of grease on them and they screw together really easily. You want this part here to be smooth too, so they fit together. When you put 2 or 3 poles together, it makes a big difference. Just feel that it's nice and smooth. You don't need to worry about that, just these threads. And then just feel them if they're smooth. Nothing to catch your finger, you'll be in good shape. All right, so we just completed our pole. This is the top end of it. I hope you can make one, and If you'd like some of these signs, you can order them at JesusSavesSigns.com. Order as many as you'd like. If you need a large quantity of them, email me at Brent Farley on that website. Just put my name on it, Brent Farley, and we can work out a discount for large quantities. Same with the pole. If you don't want to spend the time to construct one of these, I can do it for you. Just send me an email. These poles work fine if you'd like one in custom color that's insulated, if you're working around power lines or anything else, or you just want it to look customized to your color. We have all colors. It's a thick, heavy gauge heat shrink tubing. Makes it real easy to look at, and also doesn't clank in your vehicle. So you can order the signs at JesusSavesSigns.com and also order the poles. So this one's completed. You can order different pole segments to make it really up to 3 poles long to reach really high up, to really lift Jesus' name up high. You just screw it together like that. So to put a sign in it, you just put the sign in it, push down, slide it up, center it up, and lift his name up. Lift it up as high as you like. So you just put it on any type of wood pole. Works really well. I like to target high volume areas. I need to tell the whole world who saves. There's only one. Most of the world, they don't know, and a lot of them won't take a track. And we have to get the message to them in this way. It's very effective. If you love God and you want people to know Him, and you want them to be saved, this is a very good way to do it. So contact me if you need any assistance. God bless.